we would just then move our veteran ceremony to the same day as our event. So,
Carrie and then Ron?
Probably a little bit different than some of the other comments. I myself like the tie with the parade. It's always been a family event and it's a day-long event. I understand the cost, I understand the strain on the staff, I've seen it. Think being an elected official, thinking of those that walk in the parade, and then how often over the years when this wasn't even a gleam in my eye that you saw candidates back at the park afterwards that were in their gear and they were kind of, selling them, I remember seeing Barb actually when this wasn't even an idea, and meeting Barb in her shirt and talking to her. And so for that part, I would wish almost that the parade could still be the same day. I'm not against it being the Saturday before. I love the whole idea of it being Independence Fest on Independence Day in Independence Township. Love all of that because I'm red, white, and blue and go team. But I would like to see if we did move it, as long as we did keep it with, on a year-to-year basis, I'd like to see the increase and hear the numbers. I know it'd be kind of tough to compare because yes, we had 2 years off, but if we could look back and you say, this is, roughly the numbers that we had, did you have a better turnout with staff? And with saying triple time, I do have to comment on that. The full-time employees get paid for the day off, so really it's double time. It's not really a triple time because we are still getting paid to not be at work should they not show up. So, but there is still a cost. But those are just some of the things that I'm not opposed to switching it to the Saturday before. But I also think too, being a parent at one time with young kids, you took advantage of those holidays and you took long weekends so you didn't have to take time off work. So I'm a little skeptical that you might not have a bigger increase because I think if people are going to be off for the 4th, they're going to be off that weekend before traveling. So it'll just be interesting to hear what you come back with should we move forward, is all.
Ron?
Yeah, I guess I was just confused whether or not, are the fireworks, are you going to try to incorporate those on the same night?
those would also be on that Saturday.
Because to me, I think that's one of the signature events of the Independence Fest is
I
at
do
the end of the
too.
night is the fireworks.
Yeah, and we're excited to get them back at the park. I mean, having them at Pine Knob, I thought was great for a couple of years to get us through the pandemic. But when you get to sit on the ball fields at Clintonwood Park and we're firing those things off, not even, maybe 100 yards away, it's a pretty cool show to see it from inside the park and be right underneath them.
Everybody has a good seat.
Oh, yeah, thanks. But yeah, it's,
Usually a supine seat, usually laying down.
I'm just saying, to me, it wasn't really written up in here, so I wasn't sure if it was,
Yeah.
for sure that was part of it. Because I think that part of the event of the Independence Fest is really, that's kind of like the crowning end of the day type thing, so.
it's usually when the park is most full, is at the end of the night.
Right.
We pack the place for the fireworks show. I mean, we have people come and go throughout the day, and it's pretty busy and volume swells. But once the band starts at night, and then the fireworks show that comes afterwards, that's when we're at our busiest for sure, so.
And I guess I've participated in it a few times, and it does make for a heck of a long day, I can tell you that, so. Even the young kids are pretty wore out by the end of the day, so.
Is anybody prepared to make a motion? Or public, any members of the public, including online? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the date change of Independence Fest from Monday, July 4th to, should we just say the preceding Saturday?
Yeah, Monday shouldn't be a date then. Should be just July 4.
Right, from July 4th to, I guess, to the Saturday preceding the
Yeah.
4th of July.
Yeah.
For future year, as talked about it tonight.
I'll second.
Sherry
Did you
seconded.
beat me?
No.
Thank you.
Terry seconded.
Yep. Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Carrie?
Are we gonna add to that with future year considerations upon board review? That wasn't mentioned as part of the motion.
I'm
Or no?
agreeable to have
Are we
that.
just gonna make it?
Terry, are
permanent?
you satisfied with that? He's agreeable?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
all right, thank you.
friendly amendment.
Just wanted to make,
No other discussion? All in favor of the motion as supplemented?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay,
Thank you very much. We'll see how it goes.
yeah.
And last but not least, is the 2018 Services Assessment. I think that's the last item on our regular agenda
Yes.
tonight, correct?
If you prefer, I can call it, but
I'll move to approve it.
you wanna call it?
I'll call it. So this is a request to approve the 2018 to 2020 ITPRS Services Assessment with 2000, and this is the 2021 update, which actually includes 2020 data. As you can imagine, the data is skewed immensely because of our numbers in 2019 and 2020 were dramatically lower than what we normally have because most of our programs and services were either on hiatus or were minimized due to participation numbers required through the pandemic. What this is an assessment that allows us to be able to set pricing for our programs based on the benefits in which residents receive. It is also a guide to help us decide whether we want to retain or retire programs based on their service model and whether they've outgrown their service dates. Kind of a quick, in a nutshell, explanation. We have increasing user fees going this way, increasing public subsidy going the other way, and in the middle we have strong individual benefits at the top, balanced benefits in the middle, and strong community benefits at the bottom. That balanced benefit is a measure that receives both individual benefits and a strong community benefit. And again, just to kind of give you a quick idea, and we can use Independence Fest as an example. In my 20-plus years of being in Parks and Recreation and all the departments that I've worked for, it's always kind of a rule of thumb that youth sports make money and events lose money, right? So if we were a cash business and we were a for-profit business, we would probably just go into youth sports and probably get rid of all of our events. However, not everything that we do is for monetary gain. A lot of the programs and services that we provide community benefits from social, mental, and physical attributes or individual benefits plus community benefits. And I can get on my soapbox and talk about how Parks and Recreation benefits our community from a health and wellness standpoint all day long, but I will save you that. But that is kind of it in a nutshell. We're not a for-cash business or a for-profit business, so we have to weigh out the programs that lose money on some sort of a non-monetary scale to make sure that we're still providing some sort of benefit to the community, and those programs either get subsidized by the programs that do make money, or of course, what we get subsidized from the general fund. So there's a lot of data in here, there's a lot of charts. Just to give you a couple examples of how we've used this in the past, we stopped our services at the community garden last summer, and the plots that we had remaining, it had kind of waned in popularity over probably the last 4 or 5 years. We merged all of our plots with the community garden that is run through the school system. So we could still provide the service, but we're not taking on the expense anymore. So that was one of the things where we weighed out that benefit to the community versus the monetary gain, and decided it wasn't worth it. We have a couple of things that are on the cusp right now. Supervisor Fisher and I talked about the plots that we have remaining the other day. To the same day. Adult softball across the country is struggling, and this is one of those things that within the next couple of years we're going to have to decide: is it worth it for us to continue to run an adult softball league? Or do we stop renting school fields and move our youth programs in-house on our own facilities because we're spending more money renting school fields than we're making in adult softball? So if we eliminated the adult softball program and moved those youth teams that we're renting school facilities for into Clintonwood Park, it would probably make more financial sense. And those are kind of the things that you have to weigh that community benefit section out. Adult softball is a great individual benefit. What kind of community benefits does it bring outside of bringing visitors from out of town to see how wonderful our facilities are? Those are the kind of things that we use this data for to make sure we're making smart financial and community-based decisions on what we decide to offer and what we don't decide to offer. And last but not least, yes, it is a CAPRA requirement. We are going to be going through our CAPRA reaccreditation process in April. And this assessment is a part of that accreditation process as required by the National Recreation and Park Association. We started doing this the first time we got accredited 5 years ago. And it's one of those things that I hem and haw sometimes about whether going through accreditation is worth it. What do we receive by it? Is it worth it to continue to pay admin time to get reaccredited? These are one of the tools that we probably wouldn't be doing if it wasn't for the accreditation process. So it's a very helpful tool, and I'm glad that we've invested the time and effort into getting it done so we can make sound business decisions for our department moving forward. So,
Thank you.
Yep.
Any comments, questions?
Yeah, I'm sorry about the adult softball, because I was gonna have us be a team.
let's not over yet.
That's right.
He'll tell us to do pickleball. That's on top of his list.
Yeah, and
I do
can tell you,
pickleball.
in my years on the Oakland County Parks and Rec Commission, we use the same pyramid analysis, and where you have widespread use across the county. For example, hiking trails. Hiking trails are probably the most popular thing year after year. The people, but you don't earn any special money for that. But you've got to provide that. That's got to come out of your general money, because you're not going to get any fees for people taking a walk. But people love it. They just love it and they need it. It's good for health and all that. So this is really a good program.
Instead to put a bucket at the trail so they can drop some
Right.
money in there.
Somebody playing the violin.
You'd be surprised. We have a pay at the pole for our disc golf out at Baycourt. We put in a pole in the ground and I know we dropped some moldy money off to the Treasury Department last summer that wasn't
That was
real
terrible.
popular, but surprised how many disc golfers, we
Put
make
money in.
more money by them donating into that pole than we have by paying someone to sit at a picnic table all day and collect a fee.
Yeah.
Because we're not paying the person to sit there. It's an honor system. Sometimes people surprise you, so.
Yeah. Any members of the public care to speak on this, address it? I think we've lost our online participation.
I bored Frankie to death. He loved this.
He was so excited he dropped over. Okay, no other comments. Is there a motion?
I'll
Move
make
to
a-
approve, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the updated 2018-2020 Parks, Recreation, and Seniors Service Assessment, authorizing the Parks and Rec and Seniors Director to set pricing for department services, subject to the Township Supervisor's approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded? You get-
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Any other comments before we go on? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chair.
So we've got communications. We have a report from Oakland County Sheriff's Department, monthly report for January, and we have minutes of the Election Commission of January 20, 2022. Are there board member comments? Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved and second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned.